Welcome to the Making of Me podcast, where we explore stories of resilience, innovation, and peak performance. This is John Graham, CEO of Lumaflex and a competitive athlete. John is a pioneer of health and recovery, transforming the wellness space with cutting-edge red light therapy technology. From overcoming serious sport injuries and a brain tumor to building an award-winning company. John has dedicated his career to helping individuals optimize performance, recover faster, and live a healthier life. It's really a pleasure and an honor to have you on the show, John.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this. I love the opportunity to share my story and all that we're doing. And you're up early. You're an early morning riser. That's good.
Yeah,
It's good.
thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you
Getting
so much.
after it.
Yeah. So, John, what were some of the experiences that shaped you into who you have become today?
I guess it's just from all these injuries when you're, I guess when you are an athlete and you want to compete and you have these dreams of being a star in the sports world, winning trophies, winning, gold belts and everything. There's a little bit of a sacrifice that takes, right? There's a lot of toil on your body, a lot of injuries, and something that everyone notices when they go through challenges and they overcome challenges. It rises you up. You kind of go, your avatar in the game of life kind of becomes more and more competent. You can become more self-aware. And I guess that's kind of my story, right? That these challenges led to where I am today. And I'm obviously very, very appreciative of this. I believe in challenges, and you should experience and embrace challenges in order to achieve anything, right? Nothing's easy.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. So, John, you have spoken about our recovery from serious sport injuries and brain tumor. How did that experience shape your approach of health and innovation?
Yeah, I used to play rugby when I was young. That was my sport. I had 2 broken shoulders from rugby because rugby is a game where you tackle someone. Right?
Yes.
You clash right into people. Sometimes the people that you tackle, they're heavy, right? They're like the forwards, right? And the forwards, they protect the ball, they protect the position. And usually when they're running, there's a lot of weight behind these people when they tackle you. And then the other positions on the team, they're very fast. And what they can do is they can sidestep you and they can trip you over. So your weight ends up being, your worst enemy because you fall. And usually the small guys on the team in rugby are the ones to watch out for because they're really fast and they can push forward and hit your legs and cause you to trip. And that's usually where most of the injuries happen is with this sort of collision. But going from rugby, I went into CrossFit. I competed in CrossFit. I did very well in CrossFit, but that's again another very intensive sport, a lot of impact on your body, especially my knees. And from rugby and then going into CrossFit, my left knee had a lot of injuries. And that was probably the worst injury that I ever had was my left knee. And then I stopped doing those sports. I was like, okay, I'm not conditioned for it. And I went into boxing. And I thought amateur boxing was better because I could see who's coming against me, right? It's very clear where the threat is, where the challenge is. It's the guy in the ring. And I'm like, okay, I just got to watch him. But after years of fighting, I started to get severe headaches. And I went to the doctor to do a scan on my brain, and they found a tumor in my head, which was caused to just impacts again and again to the head. And I had this 11 months to plan this surgery, and I had this 11-month window to where if I didn't plan the surgery in that time, microsurgery would be very difficult, and the tumor was growing towards my brain. So it would have been it would have been fatal. But that sort of changed my whole outlook on life. I guess I didn't compete after that in competitive sports, at least not impact sports. I went into bodybuilding later, which was really fun. That's a very fun competition. It's very safe. But I went more into medical and product development and manufacturing, and then I wanted to push out a product. And the reason I got into light therapy was my girlfriend during that time, who's now my wife. She was the one who was encouraging me to use red light therapy for my healing. And I saw the most dramatic healing on my left knee. And my left knee, this was an injury I had for like so many years. I was used to it. I was just used to having this issue with my knee. And after using this lamp that she bought me, this red light therapy lamp, it had like this big red bulb, that I would aim it at the pain area, the area that had inflammation. After a week of using this on my knee, I didn't need it, anymore. I did it for one more week just to be sure, but the pain was gone. And that created a lot of interest into discovering what was light therapy, how this mechanism works in your body. Originally, I wanted to get into light therapy because I thought it was a good hack for a competitive athlete. It can be my little edge, in competitive sports. But I got so inspired by the treatment and what it does for our mitochondria, for our cells, that I want to build a device that was more suitable to someone like me. And that was how Lumaflex was born. And this is like a 7-year journey in total. Like, because we had about a 3-year development phase where we were developing the product. And that phase took quite some time because we wanted to make sure that the product really went out to the market, was truly something useful, that created consistency, that was flexible and durable and could be used in multiple environments. And people were using it at work, they're using it when on a plane. They're using it, at home, or when they take the kids to soccer practice. But yeah, it all kind of culminated into a launch that we did about 3 years ago, 2.5 years. We're 2.5 years launched, so 3 years development, 3.5 years launched. And yeah, that's Lumaflex. We started in Miami. We launched at a big fitness show in Miami. It was May. So actually in May, that'll be our 3-year anniversary, May 19th. But yeah, it's been a great journey learning about what light therapy does, about recovery, about cellular health, about optimization. I mean, and red light therapy is something you can use even just, for your overall well-being, to help you live longer. So there's a lot of use cases for red light therapy. And now I'm just inspired to share with people about red light therapy, and, increase awareness, and get everyone on it, get everybody researching it and studying it and using it in their daily lives, right?
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, this is really amazing thing that you went from different sports with its own peculiar difficulties and demandings and sustaining some numbers of injuries, and later got to kind of stumble on red light through your girlfriend. And yeah, that was more like the break, and you being able to kind of get healing from it. And the consistency shows that it works. Yeah, that's really amazing.
Yeah.
So for athletes and everyday users alike, how can someone integrate Lumaflex into their daily routine for optimal results?
So Lumaflex, this is it here. This is the product here. So you just turn it on, and this is fully flexible and durable. So this can contour to any joint or muscle. So if you have an issue on your shoulder, your neck, your back, your knee, your calf, your ankle, you can put it on your gut health. You can put it on your heart. But the way we designed this panel is we wanted it to deliver the optimal amount of output of light therapy to your body to generate a pain management outcome. But the rule that we have with our device is it must touch skin. It must be on the skin. So you can't use it in clothing. You have to put it inside your clothing. And it also, when you have it, there's straps that you can use to position it in different areas. And the timer on the battery is a 10-minute timer. So there's 10-minute treatments. So it's a protocol-driven product to where if somebody has pain and they're dealing with maybe chronic pain, like they've had a bad back for many, many years, they can do a 10-minute treatment. And we encourage doing 2 treatments a day minimum, one in the morning, one at night. And then you can see how your pain the relief progresses, and you can do more sessions if needed. There's no negative side effects to doing more treatment. So we want to have people sort of gauge their pain from say 1 to 10, what their pain level is, start doing these treatments, and then see as the pain drops. So it's a protocol-driven based product where we want people to self-medicate themselves using light therapy, positioning the device in different areas. And that's for pain, right? That's aim at the pain, provide light therapy. That's sort of our protocol, that side. For well-being, for longevity, if somebody wants to just to feel better, and also support with headaches or drowsiness or even like mood or better sleep, you can position the device on your chest, on your heart, your gut, your neck for your spine, and then also, of course, your face. There's a lot of benefits in having your body exposed to red light therapy on a daily basis. And this tracks back to our relationship with the sun and just how right now in this day and age, not many people have a good relationship with the sun. They don't go outside as much, and when they do go outside, they're wearing clothes, they're putting sunglasses on, they're wearing sun hats. So our relationship with the sun is not as good as it was before in our ancient history, and we want to encourage people to use red light therapy more, because benefits happen when you're using red light therapy on a consistent basis, when you're constantly using red light therapy, just like having consistent sun exposure. So think of Lumaflex, or think of any device out there that's in light therapy. Think of them as sun supplements. It's your solar energy supplement. Just like we have protein powders, like I've got protein powder in my office. If I don't have time to have whole food like chicken or beef, I have a protein supplement. It's exactly the same concept. It's a sun supplement, because we need sunlight. We need the healing rays of light every day. That's how our bodies are designed, right?
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much for that. So what were some of the biggest myths or misconceptions about the red light therapy that you have encountered?
So with light therapy, people often don't understand is that light is in a spectrum. So you have the red light, which is in the 600 nanometer ranges. You have near infrared light, which is the 800s, 900s, and then going into the thousands. And then you have far infrared, UV light, which that's how you get sunburn. We do need UV light. It is important for us to have it, but it's in a lower dosage. Actually, depending, like you're dark skinned, you have more melanin in your skin. You can actually intake more light energy than people with fairer skin. And this is due to how back in ancient times, where people with fairer skin used to live in relation to the equator, and how we have now all migrated and everyone's all over the world. So like my mother, for example, very fair skinned. She's originally from London. Actually, she's from Dover Cliffs. She's down south. But she now lives in Australia. My mother's in Perth, Australia, where the UV rating is quite high. It's like some days it's like 18 is the UV rating. So it's very strong light for her, but she still needs UV light, but just in a lower dosage. So where the healing comes from is in the red and near infrared light. Those are the wavelengths that we deal with. We don't have UV light here. So many people think like, oh, is this damaging for my skin? Is this bad for my skin, or is this going to cause me to sunburn or have a reaction? It's not. It's the red and near infrared light is fully clinically proven to support cellular healing and cellular energy, whereas the UV light is what we want in dosage depending on the fairness of the skin.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. So beyond Lumiflex, you have actually founded Gym, a fitness blockchain company, and White Collar Fight Night. How does this experience influence your approach to health innovation?
Yeah, being a competitive athlete, I was very passionate about fitness, about health, about performance, about training people. So I started, as a personal trainer. Many people in fitness, they always start with that first relationship with one person, sharing what they know about making somebody healthy, losing weight, or, being able to climb a flight of stairs, without huffing and puffing. But I wanted to scale more, increase my impact. So that's when I started opening gyms, and that's how I thought I could get my message out, my passion for health and fitness. I could get it out more by building gyms and having more people that, are part of my passion and my enthusiasm. And then I went into fitness technology, and I went into AR fitness, I went into digital fitness, like I went into blockchain. And all of these businesses, I really contributed to, being able to manage teams, being able to launch a product, building a network, and being able to sort of to do a business and do it successfully, and being able to go through, because business is not something that is like, it's not easy, right? There's lots of obstacles, there's lots of storms that come in the way. And you have to develop a certain robust character to handle it, to be able to navigate, and maybe look at a slump or an obstacle, or sometimes when things are down, you have to see it as an advantage, a way to rise back up again. So I kind of look at the previous history of all the things that I did as just learning experiences. It's like going to university, you could say, for building robustness and just a good challenge mentality of being able to push a product out and doing business well. And business in my eyes is basically just relationships. It's just building trust with people and understanding, I have a solution, you have a problem, this is the solution I have, what do you think? Sticking with the core values of it, right? That's kind of what I've learned. White Collar Fight Night, this event that I have, I run it. It's just a passion business. It's become quite big, but I don't want to invest too much energy to make it like super big. I want to keep it as a passion, and it's coming from my boxing, passion as a trying to be a boxer myself, not being able to achieve my dreams, being a world champion. So I created an event, and I have people fight, and some of these people, they've never fought before, but it's very safe, and it's called white collar boxing. So it's like businessmen and women, they get in the ring and they give it their best. And it's like a challenge experience that you can partake in, kind of like running a marathon or climbing Mount Everest. It's positioned in that way. But I still do that, and I enjoy it, and enjoy it a lot. And it's a good platform also to talk to people about Lumaflex and about light therapy, because everyone wants cellular health. Everyone wants to recover, right? Everyone wants to feel better, right? But they don't necessarily want to take a pill or something that can damage them, or create symptoms that they suffer from later on. So it's a good way to get the conversation going, to get the awareness of light therapy out. Yeah, and it's fun. I'm very grateful. I'm living the dream. I'm doing what I love to do.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. So John, for my audience who would love to reach out, either to reach out for more content, to be more educated, and or to follow you on various medias, or to more like get some of your products, how can they reach out, and where's the best platform?
Just lumaflex.com. Lumaflex, like Luma light, and flex as in flexibility. And lumaflex.com is the site. And if anyone is interested to know about what light therapy is, I've actually built an entire education side of the company. It's run by my scientist, who's a photobiomodulation expert. And anyone who wants to join, message me on Instagram. It's just John Graham Fitness. It's a very easy handle. Just say, hey, love the show, want to learn more. And if you give me your email, I'll enroll you in our academy, and you can learn everything. It's like a course. It's like a 0 to hero course on light therapy. It's amazing.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much, John. This has really been amazing. Yeah, it just shows that recovery isn't just about rest. It's about smart science, backup in invention, from groundbreaking red light therapy to device of innovative or fitness solution. Yeah, this is really amazing. The fact that you empower people to optimize our performance, accelerate healing, and take control of their health. Yeah, this has really been amazing. And for my audience who would love to reach out, check the show note for the link to the website and that of the link so that you could actually more like ease. Yeah, it's a pleasure and honor having you on the show.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.